Well. Guess we gonna get started. They come, they don't. But kind of wanted to share some things regards to business. Um, the beginning stages. Everybody think it's easy. Everybody think they can do it, but you know, we have to definitely have a vision. You gotta have the the belief, the knowing. Um, some may need a partner, somebody in that corner to push them, whatever it is. But this time and day in my my age, where some people may say it's too late, um, just in this past year, I would tell you that it's never too late to start something. You're gonna have a lot of naysayers. You're gonna have a lot of people that's doubting you. You're gonna find very few that's actually gonna be supportive of what it is that you're trying to do. There is a difference between a hustle and actually having a business. Some people get it, and it's just a vibe to say, they got a business. You want to scale your business. You want to definitely get yourself, out there, market. That's something that I'm kind of dealing with right now. Just getting in the swing of things of social media. But I want to say definitely it is time consuming. You do have to have your stuff in line, your paperwork and whatnot. But the journey so far, just being on YouTube and social media, period, it's up and down. Um, what's going on, brother? But it's definitely um, a lot of paperwork, a lot of mental planning, a lot of execution. Delivering, um, and things may not pop off right away. I've heard people say that, you got to have a failed business before you actually have a successful one, and I believe that. But I also believe that having the right team around you and staying focused and patient, that you will get there. But this journey in social media is very shaky. You got the people that's riding with you. You got some people that's riding along, and then you got people that's taking from you. And I don't believe in stepping on people's toes to get to the top, or you know cheating my way through. Um, I rather fail knowing that I gave 100% than to pass knowing that I only gave 50. So I just wanted to get on here and kind of tell you guys what I got going on. My shirts for Breast Cancer Awareness Month will be on the website. I'm not going to do too much promotion on that because I kind of fell behind, but I do have 3 more drops coming for the shirts. And it's just been a lot going on. And when you have a 9 to 5 and you're trying to start something new, it gets hard because it takes away from the free time you normally would have to, make it. That's why I say you got to have a good support system that understands the vision and the goals, and invest in yourself. A lot of people don't want to put time and money into themselves. They expect the fancy ride without the hard work. So right now I'm struggling with marketing. I would definitely say that I'm struggling with marketing, getting myself out there, and just trying to collab with good people. And that's the hiccup because more people will take from you than actually give. And that's the discouraging part. So, you win some, you lose some, but, I'm going to keep it all the way real. Um, I got a new product coming out. I was inspired by Clay, and, he's on Instagram. Um, he has some of the pieces that you're gonna see me promoting that I went on ahead and was already crafty with my hands, so I made sure that um, I touched down. I wanted to do it the correct way and show why I'm sticking to it. It's more to just talking the talk, but you got to walk the walk. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't pay homage to the person that taught me the game, and I've always been that way. Um, but I'm just in a position right now where I know things is getting ready to take off, and I'm just trying to do it the right way. You find out really who is in your corner, who's supporting you. You can't do good business with bad intent. I'm sorry, you just can't. You get fast cash, but it won't last. Um, so I believe in crossing my T's and dotting my I's. But I just wanted to come on here because I haven't been on live in a minute, face to face, and just the timing. I didn't want to sit in front of the computer to upload. But as I'm getting ready to, for work, I had a few calls that I made to make sure that I was in good graces with people and certain people, um, because today is different. Today is a day where I'll be launching flavor chains, and it's a design that's been passed down, um, that I will be adding my own taste to, and that's pretty much it. The shirts are still around. Um, it's just really now hand to hand, face to face marketing until I get my buzz. So YouTube has done a lot for me since February, y'all. I would definitely say that. Um, it showed me a lot of wins, a lot of losses, and I'm gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna keep pressing on, and I'm not gonna stop. Um, but I definitely do believe doing things in the right way, and that's pretty much it. I don't really have too much. You know, I know who's gonna show up and who's not for me. I know who's in my circle and who's not, and it's just time to move forward. Um, that's pretty much it. But shout out to the 7 people in the chat with only 2 likes. But just don't stop, y'all. If you got a passion, you got something you want to try, something you want to do, I say do it. You're gonna fail, you're gonna succeed, but that's determined on if you're willing to get back up when you get knocked down. And you just make sure you have good positive energy, because negativity stops you from creating. Distractions stop you from creating. And I've been creating and been distracted from the original plan, which was to launch my shirts each week for breast cancer awareness. And like I said, you can go to my website, www.sticktoitcustoms. That's STICK, the number 2 IT customs.com. I will be showcasing the flavor chains, logo designs. Pretty much, yeah. You sound funny too, Toy. But so I got a lot of things that I'm working on in the background, and I just wanted to come on here and shoot the mess before I go to work. I got a clear head. Um, I did what I was supposed to do, and now it's time to move forward. But why you say I sound funny? All these trolls. Boy, people ain't got nothing else better to do. A lot of scams, a lot of trolling, a lot of bots. It's a lot of fake stuff going on out here, y'all. Y'all just stay focused, and you know what I'm saying. Don't pretty they it ain't gonna stop nothing, you know. I was just telling to the folks about doing things the right way, especially when it comes to business and launching flavor chains. And I'm just on here to really chit chat. Um, that's really it. I don't really have too much nothing to talk about, but I was showcasing because I know they watching, so I might as well show them. But anywho, this it is what it is. Um, but be on the lookout for those that's watching in the background. When you get out of yourself and put that pride and jealousy to the side and really show support, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another to do it. And I've sat back and I watched people overlook you. I've watched people manipulate. I've watched people lead astray. I've watched it all. I just don't speak on it. I don't speak on it because that's not my lane. That's not the vibe that I'm trying to go to. But the more you play in my face, the more I'm gonna play in yours. And that's how I woke this morning. And I was like, you know what? That ain't me. So I had to scale back, take some time, regroup, and continue on. So for those that are starting something new, pay attention to your circle, pay attention to the people that's in it. Uh, Nothing is more disheartening than when you have broken trust from a friendship. Um, family. Most family won't even support you. They'll applaud, they'll clap for you, but you get that big bag, they'll start calling. But again, don't let the doubt, the fear, the distraction stop you from doing what you love to do. Because I'm gonna tell you this, it will take you places because that's not gonna be the sole thing that locks you in. You're gonna come up with new ideas. You're gonna come on to things that you can add on to it. And I say do it. What you got to lose? What do you have to lose? Um, it's just sad that we're in a state of mind where instead of support, people want to take. It's not too many solid people that's left in the world. Um, they'll play in your face. So, like I say, man, we gonna keep moving. You know, Shout out to those that's watching in the background. Shout out to those that stopped in. May even come back on the replay. But get the hatred out your heart. Get the jealousy out your heart. You know, the envy, all of that. You're not going to do well. It's bad energy. And over here, we're going to continue the pace. We're going to continue the course. You know, um, y'all been able to see my growth, and it's more to come. It's just so hard when you're working 10 plus hours a day trying to brand yourself, trying to market, trying to create, trying to do this and do that. You need a team at times, and sometimes that team isn't there. So what do? And for me, luckily I have a team that is helpful, and they support me, and I'm okay with those that do, and I'm okay with those that don't. I'm not in a race with nobody. Um, that's pretty much it. What's going on, Tina? See, you've been holding it down over there on the panel. I've been trying to show up. I can't really, talk much when I'm in the on the panel, but I do show up for support. Shout out to Tina in the chat. But I was just, bring it to the surface, man. You can't trust everybody. Um, watch your circle. Um, business is business. Hustle is hustle. Scheming is scheming. It is what it is at the end of the day. And again, I wanted to pay homage. I wanted to do it the right way. And that's how I'm moving. Sassy says, keep going. You're doing a great job. Don't let yourself get distracted by negativity and negative people. It's a low blow when you get hit by the people you trust. When you really, really let go and trust and you see the play, and a lot of people will be surprised who's playing in your face. I'm not the one to name drop. I'm not the one to start no beef. Sometimes I do wish my name was called, but sometimes I'm glad that it ain't. Because the truth is the truth. There's no way to bend it. And that's what I've been stepping on. That's what I've been speaking. And, before this venture takes off with the flavor chains, I want it to be clear. You know, it was handed down. I got the grace to move forward with it. And again, that's Clay. Y'all check him out on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not doing none of that. You know, I believe what's for you is for you, and can't nobody stop it. You know, and this was a piece that I've been working on. You know, pieces of art that I can wear. Design. Sell. That's what it's about. It's about working together. And that brother told me that I got his grace. So at the end of the day, however it may look going forward, there's no hate in my blood. There's no backstabbing in my blood. If it ever becomes a time where I got to talk about it on my live or on their live, I'll pull up. But if we're going to hold the truth, we're going to hold the truth. And that's just the way to shape it. And they probably watching. And it's going to always be love. But at the end of the day, you can't get nowhere in life holding grudges. That negativity, you got to let it go. And this morning, I was shaking. I went out and I grounded, and something was like, man, do it the right way. That's where your blessings come from. And so that's what I'm doing. I never thought that I'll be where I'm at right now to this day, given what I'm going through right now. I have the ability to create shirts. Now we coming out with the line, flavor chains. So Tina said, wait a minute, let me see. I don't want to skip Sassy. And it will happen more and more if we let it keep going, stay focused. Salute. Hey, Carol, that's another person that's been a day one. So again, just show appreciation to the ones that's supporting you. But Tina says getting hit by the ones that are close to you usually prece- precedes a hard reset for a higher altitude immediately following. Everyone can go with you, and when they can't, it clears your path. Man, that's facts. And I think that's been one of my hiccups. And I did a short when I dropped my son off at the airport, and um, that was emotional for me. But everybody can't go with you, and the reason why I was saying that is because I see me and him with having that type of heart where they'll give you the shirt off their back. They want to fix everything. They want to be there for everybody. And that almost killed me. That almost unalived me. That almost took me out. Really trying to take everybody with me. And every time I try to take somebody with me, I seem like I'm either getting stalled out or I get hurt by looking back and saying what could have been. And you don't really always want to say no or be this way or be that way and just move. People may take it the wrong way, but sometimes maybe that's what it's called for. And I'm still learning that because I do want everybody around me to win. But unfortunately, you can't share everything because everybody just gonna take, and you get depleted. So again, um What did it say? Boy, some trolls in here. Thank you for the trolls, but that's what it is, man. Flavor Chains is coming. You know, Stick to It Customs is still developing. And I want those that rock with me, that genuinely rock with me, to hold the line, stand there, you know, because I don't forget the people that showed me things along the way, you know. Um, but those that are for you, hey, they're going to show up. That's all I got to say, really. I'm here looking to start a t-shirt business. My question is, what are 3 great tips to succeed and 3 bad things to avoid? Um, 3 things is that's good is practice your craft, um, believe in yourself, and try to do better than you did the last time. 3 bad things is to copy someone else's work, sell to the class or the lane or the people that you're selling to just to get a sale. Don't change your style of what you see just to get a sale. Um, and then another thing is being afraid to invest in the proper equipment and yourself. I thank you, Miss Tina. I do. Um, I never thought art would be doing what it's doing for me right now, given all of what I've been through. And I just want, like I say, I just want to make sure that my conscience is clear, that I'm straightforward, and letting people know what it is, and it's gonna be up from there. Again, I'm no dummy. I know who's playing in my face. I know who's gassing me up. I know who's using me, and even when I make it, that's no shout out to or no diss to those people, but only thing I want is for you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, did you really want me to win? Why such the disdain? Why such the manipulation? Why? I've always been solid, always been truthful. And, at the end of the day, playing dumb sometimes is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you see it and it's like, what do you do with it? You know, and it's hurtful. I kind of feel like stabbed in the back a little bit. Um, it's messed up. That's the best thing that I could say. I don't, like I say, I don't name drop. I will have a conversation if needed, but you know, I gotta get what's for me, and there's a way to do it. Miss Carroll says people aren't always going to want you to succeed, especially at the things they failed at. I will say this to you again: you have been given a gift, and with the gift is always going to come with. So, you know, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful. But I'm not gonna let. It's always gonna come with people who would rather see you fail. You got this. Keep focused and moving. And I definitely take those words to heart because this morning, the way I woke up, I was just like, my energy was on, man, I was shaking because I can feel I'm so close. Been doing everything that I'm supposed to. And this last piece, it's going to be some dope art coming. And people want all the attention. It's easy for a person to become envious if they recognize that they're in darkness and can't keep up with your. Say that again. Man. But I definitely appreciate y'all. Please see my follow-up question. Oh, let me see what you wrote. It's always gonna be some trolling. I didn't get your question, so um, you probably have to put it in there again. But and man, shout out to everybody that's doing good. You know, that's creating content, that's finding their lane, their path. And I do think it's still some dope people out here where we can collab and you know bounce ideas and just share. It feels weird having to hold in all the information because you got some fake people out there that's really just looking to siphon your energy, but we can do it. We just have to be honest with self, and I don't understand why the hate. Why? If a person is doing a good job, they doing a good job at the end of the day. That's it. That's it. That's all it is to it. I've always said that when I got on here, I was not chasing monetization. I've already accomplished my goal with coming on YouTube. This is fun for me, and I get to share my experiences with the world. I get monetized later, that's cool. But I got things working on the outside, so I'm really not tripping on all of that. That's the sad part. You know, I'm not trying to be like nobody else. Be yourself. And just when you think you're making, steps ahead, it's so many behind because people don't want to support. People do not want to support at the end of the day. He needs a new shoe. B sec. This world isn't. Miss Carroll said this world isn't like it used to be, where people support and build up one. Yeah, cause you gotta beg for a like. You gotta do some funny things. You gotta, create toxicity. All of that. I'm not finna do all of that. Not for no like. I'm not finna sell myself to. Nah, no. I believe in doing it the authentic way. And unfortunately, you're right, Miss Carroll. That's the world we live in. That's what it is. People is cheating their way to the top. The problem is great always outlasts. And the problem is great always outlasts and outshines good. Brother, you're doing better than good, and it's recognized by people that have hate in their hearts first. I appreciate it. I definitely do. Because it get hard sometimes. Um, that's it. It get hard. It's hard. It's not easy. And sometimes when you got to motivate self, you better hope the sun is shining because if it's raining outside, it's going to be a bad day. But nevertheless, y'all, I appreciate y'all for stopping through. Be on the lookout. Flavor Chains is about to roll out. I got some stuff that I will be releasing. Be a lookout on the website. Don't just look, support. It goes a long way, and I don't forget who's been on my side. But any questions, y'all may have, you got my email with the chains. They're made custom size, special to order. Um, that's it, man. I got to get to work. That's it. Got more creating to do when I get off. We moving forward. I hope certain relationships can be salvaged, but at the end of the day, you got to hold the line. You got to own your truth. And, you know, not name dropping. I'm not doing none of that. I think that we all are an adults. We can handle it like we should. And if not, then cool. You know, it is what it is. I always got love for you, you know, and that's just what it is, man. And I want everybody to win. That's it. I want everybody to win. Again, you know, this is stick. I'm going to stick to it by any means necessary, but I make sure that I do it the right way. And my advice to you all is stick to it. Don't give up. You get knocked back down, keep getting up. Because at some point, you're going to know how to move. Nessa Boo. Nessa Boo. What's the word? What's the word? Yeah. My thoughts was all over the place this morning. I woke up hot. My energy was just all the love that I was getting, the support. You know, I just wanted to make sure my T's were crossed and my I's were dotted, and just continue on. Um, that's it. You know, business is business, and unfortunately, certain things happen. It's the best way I can put it. That's the best way I can put it. I don't. It bothers me. I would definitely say that it really do. It really, really bothers me. It really do. You know, it's gonna take some time to move past it, but I can't stop. I put too much time and effort into where I'm at right now, and hopefully it could be fixed. That's it. But I'm gonna continue being me. I appreciate y'all for, you know what I'm saying. I got 10. Is that 10 likes? Yep. So I love y'all, man. This stick, man. I'm gonna stay to the mission. Hope y'all do too. If y'all need encouragement, advice, y'all see me in y'all chats. You know, I don't really do a lot of chatting in the lives, but when I pull up, we in the building, and you know, stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and get all that negativity out your heart, all that hatred. You know, I'm speaking to those that's watching along the sidelines that don't want to show support. I can ramble and ramble on, y'all, but y'all be smooth. Be on the lookout. Flavor changes in effect, and we out.